Hey guys, Kev here, and I wanted to talk about the Magizmo Haiku. And this is a absolutely fantastic, OG custom flashlight. So what I mean by that is Don McLeish, he is the guy behind Magizmo. He's been in the game for a long time. I mean, we're talking, 20, 30 years at least, probably, right? He has invented and innovated a lot of stuff in the flashlight world, and I don't know everything. I'm a noob at this, so I will get things wrong, and that's fine. I'll be corrected, and I hope I will. And I'm going to learn more, and this is not going to be a full review because I have more to come on this video, or on this flashlight. But I have been carrying this for a while, or, a week, and I wanted to get my thoughts out there. I have a few of them, and it's surprisingly become one of my favorite lights. It does some things differently than the other lights I have, and I really like that. I am waiting on an upgrade for this as well that I'm going to try, and I will not have a programming video on this flashlight. And the reason for that is the driver in it. So when you order this flashlight, which you can order this flashlight directly from the maker, he still does it that way. You email him. So go to the website, Magizmo. I think it is just Magizmo or MagizmoLights.com. It'll be linked down below. And you'll be able to find the information you need to email him or whatever. And you literally email and you say, hey, I want this light. And you tell him exactly what you want because he gives you like a spreadsheet that explains what exactly he's offering. Now, it's a little confusing if you don't know flashlights, which for me, I think most people don't jump into flashlights and then all of a sudden they're ordering $470 customs. But I do things like that. So I'm jumping in without knowing much, and that makes it a little harder when you're ordering stuff like this. But here's the website. It is very old school. So Don Magizmo McLeish, and there's a tab there for flashlights. He also does wholesale stuff because he has invented things like the Magizmo switch and this clip. So here's the switch. This is the Magizmo McClicky switch, which is basically in every custom flashlight I've tried, except for the Overready Boss, which I have on the way. They use one called the MOF switch, momentary off switch. We'll do all types of videos on that, I think. But every one of them usually has this McClicky switch, okay? And it's pretty easy to operate and replace if needed. And it's also, I believe, got some waterproof rating. So it's good for the application. Nobody's really done it better, so people have been using it for years. And essentially, it's just a piece with the spring on the end for the battery. And then it screws into the end of the base, or in the end of the host, right, which is what the body's called. That'll screw in here, screw, and then the spring will sit right here. So you'll see at the bottom of the flashlight, you have the spring, right? So that's what you're seeing right there. You're seeing that spring in this piece. And then you push the switch. And that cycles it. And that's it. And then there's a boot cover, which is this piece right here, this rubber piece. And there's an O-ring that goes around that, tucked around the rubber or the silicone in some cases. And that's what keeps that cover in place. But the actual switch is just a piece of plastic that looks like this. That's the switch right there. So that's what drops into the back, and then you screw this in, and then you click this guy. And that's it. And then you put these covers over it and an O-ring around that. And that's how the switch works. Anyway, I mention all that because last night I learned how to replace these. Not the whole switch, the cover. I was messing with some because I got this flashlight, which is called the Tie 2 and CWF Pele. Very, very cool. I got this light and it was all crusty down in there and dirty. So I just pulled it out and then I figured out how you do it and I put a new rubber one in and man, does it feel good. But it's easy to do maintenance and replace the switch or the cover when you need to, as long as you know, right? Which I didn't before, but now I do. Anyway, sorry. So that's the switch. It looks like he also sells some kind of clip. There you go. But you can go to this flashlights tab, and then if you want to order, you click on current offerings, and you'll be greeted with this sheet that you'll go, what? I wanted to order a flashlight. Why am I looking at all this? So basically what this is an order list, right? So what you get to do is choose your LED, which is going to be your emitter, right? That guy down there, that little yellow thing in the middle, that's your emitter, that's your LED. So you get to choose which one you like. I went with the Nichia 119V. I don't know shit. I just did that because, well, it was a Nichia, and I have Nichias that I like, and I was like, okay. And I kind of heard Cree can be hit or miss with their CRI, color rendering index. So I was like, I don't know. I have heard decent things with that Cree XBL high, but I don't know. And Osram, I don't know anything about. So I just was like, okay, Nichia makes sense. I don't know shit. So I didn't choose it because, you know. Then you have the option of which engine you want. You can get a AA engine, which uses 1.5 volt AA batteries. Obviously, you're going to get less output with that, but you would have batteries you can chuck and replace. And in a shitty situation, it might be better to have that. So there is a case for that. Some people just prefer AA. But then you have the Hive. That's 3 volt, right? So the Hive will also work on 3.7 volt lithium ion batteries, which is basically traditional for custom flashlights and just battery and flashlights. Now, he did tell me he recommended protected batteries, and I have some in 14500, but I don't know. I decided to use these. They seem to work pretty well. I use these Vape Cell H10s. They have a max continuous discharge rate of 10 amps, so it shouldn't be any problem hitting the power ranges this needs, which is pretty low, I think. But anyway, he does recommend protected button top. That's what he said it was designed for. So they will fit if you want to put a protected button top in there. And then here, this right here, I suppose, is the Hive light engine. There's something written on there that is hard for me to read. Let's see if we can zoom in on that and read that. What does it say? Man, that is really hard for me to read. Let me grab my other phone. This is going to be weird, sorry. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Because I have 5 times zoom on this thing. Let's see if it works. It says McGizmo 19. I think it says McGizmo. Let's see if we can do this on camera. 2 times the 5 times. Does that work? It does work. I don't know what that said. McGizmo. I don't know if that's what that says, but it kind of looks like McGizmo. And then the year 19. I don't know if you guys can read this stuff, but anyway, I think that is your Hive light engine here. And basically, sorry, I got sidetracked. The programming, I'm not going to be programming this because it requires a solder jump, which I don't really know what that means, but it sounds like what it means is you have to add a little piece of soldering to jump from A to B, whatever A is to whatever B is. I don't know if it's from there to there or if there's something else you have to unscrew first, because you can just put a tweezers or whatever, one here and one there, and you could twist this whole thing out and then it'll come out, and then you could remove that'll pull out everything, including the LED in there, and then you could just pop the glass and it's held in with that O-ring. And I will be doing that on video at some point because I ordered a new light engine from somebody. There is a guy on Facebook. It's Tana Workshop, T-A-N-A Workshop. And he makes light engines that fit into the Haiku head. And basically, I got one that is going to have a 4500K temperature. It's going to have the new, I think it's 519A Nichia 519A emitter, which I really like. That's what I have, I think, in my Okluma and my Peanut. And it's going to have the Dr. Jones driver, the H17F that I have in the Laulima. That also has that 519A, which is a very programmable and fun driver to use. And it also allows for larger output, where this is limited in output to, I think the max on this thing is like 300 lumens, something like that. It's not very bright. Which is fine. It works fantastically, and we're going to get into that part soon. Sorry. But anyway, I bought that engine online, and the guy will make it, and then he'll ship it to you. He's from Croatia. And then you install it. So you just have to use the tweezers or whatever, unscrew this whole thing, pull it out, and then you just put that new one in and screw it in. And you just reuse the glass, but everything else basically gets taken out and you put a new one in. And it was like $150 or something for that engine. This flashlight is $470 I paid because I got this cracked ice clip, titanium clip. I got the AA body, which when in flashlights, when you hear AA body, usually it means it's just indicating the size of the thing. So it's a AA size body, but it will work with 14500, which is a AA size battery, 3.7 volt, where AA is 1.5. So you got to check with the maker or whatever, but usually you're just indicating size there. So like a CR123 size would be a 16340 battery as well. And that's how he sells these. You can buy basically the head. So what I bought was a Haiku head, and then I bought a AA body with it. But I could have bought a 16340 body or a CR123 body, which is a little chunkier and shorter. And that could have gone with this. And a lot of people have this light in that configuration. So you see you have AA, or sorry, you have, where is it? That's the light engine. Then you have the head. And then you have the battery pack, he calls it. That's the body. So you get the 123, so that's going to be your 16340 body or CR123 body. You have the 16650, which is like a super long 16340. And then you have a 14500, one AA. And I guess you have a 2 AA as well, where you can get a super long-ass version of this, I guess. And then you pick the head, and he has different models. This is the Haiku. This is the OG. This is like the most popular. This is like the CRK Sabenza of flashlights, in my opinion. Custom flashlights. That's what the Haiku is. But he also makes a Sundrop, a Mule, a Mahi, and a Makai, or whatever that is. There's some other stuff down here you can look at. But basically that's what you do. You tell him, I want this LED with this engine, with this head, with this body. That's basically what you do. So I said Nichia 119V, Hive, Haiku, and then I wanted the 1 AA. So you add all that together, 170, 155, $135 and $0, and that's how I got the price, plus $10 for the clip, because I got the cracked ice. If you get the regular tie, it's included with the body, I think. So that's how you put it together. Here's some pictures just to show you what I'm talking about. The top picture here is a Haiku and a mule. So the one on the left is the mule body or head, and the one on the right is the Haiku. But you can see this body looks different than mine. When I put this together, you'll see it's slim, right? It has the wider head and then it slims out. This one, the body is about the same width as the head, and that's because it's a 16-340 type body. Again, that one on the right there, I believe, is the Haiku, yeah, with a 16-340 body. The one on the left is the same body as that one, but it's on a different head, so it looks different. Has the, I guess, Terra Ram or Aqua Ram, nope, Mahi head, sorry. So anyway, hopefully you get the point. That's how you do it. And then that middle one there is what I have, right? So it's longer and slimmer compared to that, but they have the same head on them. Anyway, and I might want to try one like the Sun Drop at some point. That one is a much more floody looking head, where this, the Haiku, the cool thing I found out about it when I got it, because I didn't know shit, because I don't, I'm just getting into this, is it's a very throwy light. So what that means is it spotlights. So you see how it has that hot spot in the center there? It's very pinpointy. Where I'm used to lights like this, these have triple emitters, but it's more floody, right? You have just a very nice and clean beam that's covering a short distance, right? That's kind of the difference. Where this is gonna throw that beam out further in a tighter area, so it'll go farther. And it doesn't have a ton of spill or flood, right? But it works surprisingly well for EDC, even though it doesn't have a ton of flood. And that's what I was so impressed about. I'm going to insert one thing here where I ramble about how good it is as a tail stand light. It really is a fabulous tail stand light. I was using it in my bathroom at night with no other light on and just putting it on like medium or whatever. And I'd set it down like this on a shelf. And it just, the way it throws that light and hits the ceiling and it spills off the walls, it's just such a clean look. It's really, really amazing. So I ramble in that for like 8 minutes. So I'll insert that somewhere, and I don't want to talk about the tail standing too much because I'm going to talk about it there for a while. So I'll go to that here, tail stand portion of the video now. Hey guys, so I wanted to include this. The last few nights that I've had the Haiku, when I've been getting ready for bed and everything, I've been using it to tail stand and just illuminate the room, just give it a little bit of light. I like doing that because I don't want to just blast the full-on lights, especially in this bathroom. It can be a harsh light, and this fan turns on no matter what, something we want to get fixed. And right now, our master bath is getting remodeled, so we're all kind of using this bathroom. But anyway, I've been using it to tail stand, just give me a little bit of light. And it's a weird thing to say, but I think this is the best tail stand, just like small room illuminating light I've ever had. It is such a clean and comfortable beam that it's just, it stands out. It's weird to say it, but it's true. If you look, take a look at the design. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look at that cracked ice clip. You'll see this up close, obviously, in the review, but that sort of cyberpunky space look. Oh my God, it's absolutely stunning. And it really just, it's been sitting here on, I don't know, low or medium now for 5 or 10 minutes, not even warm. Has such a throwy, hot spotty beam. It's so interesting. It's so different than what I've had. I like it. It's just different. So let me see what I was on there. Yeah, so it was on medium. So this is Moonlight. Just to give you an idea, this light surprisingly looks a little bit more realistic on camera than a lot of other lights. Still a lot brighter on camera, but the screen is anyway. But it throws this like V of light up, but it diffuses really well off the ceiling for me. So that's not giving me much light, but once I step it up to this sort of low setting, for me, this does really well. I can basically see everything I need to see, but it's not harsh on my eyes or anything like that. And if you step it up another one, it's still very comfortable. You know, this light doesn't get extremely bright, so it never really gets uncomfortable. It also has that very throwy, hot spotty beam that it's not just flooding the whole room with, you know, a ton of light, which is good in this scenario. I'll put it on high just so you can see it. So this is going to be high. And now it's like I have a really comfortable ceiling light on, and it just is so clean. I mean, I can't explain it better than that. It's the cleanest beam that I've experienced. So it's really cool to experience this. And, you know, I won't be able to explain it or anything well enough for you guys, but yeah, there's another look at that clip. It's just gorgeous, this whole design. But I'm going to ramble about it in the review, so I don't want to do the same thing here. I just want to show you guys the tail standing function on this guy. So, all right, I'm back. So hopefully you understood where I was coming from there, and I'll try not to ramble too much about it as we go forward here. But I love it for that, and then I really like it for just general EDC. It works really well. It has a really good handle design for the cigar grip, even though it is a skinnier flashlight. I don't necessarily do the cigar grip as much with these 14500 lights. Like this is the FocusWorks F2. I got this raw aluminum one with no memory. I don't do this as much with these as I do the chunkier lights, but I do. And this is very comfortable for it because it has this portion that tapers. It gets bigger up here at the end, so you can kind of lock your fingers in like this in a cigar grip. And then it's easier to use and operate, right? The cool thing is it has this ribbing, so you can actually start your cigar grip anywhere you want. If you wanted to have it down here because you have huge hands or something, you want to have it here because your thumb feels more comfortable there, you can do that. Because it has this ribbing, it doesn't just drag you to the back. Like on something like this, you grab it, well, it doesn't work too well. It's going to want to push you to back here where it starts to thicken, and now it feels like it's locking you in, right? It also has this area up here that looks awesome, but these are, I believe, actually there for heat dissipation. There's some kind of like radial heat fins or something, and they're supposed to do a good job of dissipating the heat. Now, this doesn't get super bright, so it doesn't really need to do that much. I never noticed it really heating up much at all. Now, once I get the new engine in there and have the Dr. Jones driver where I can really tune how bright it gets, then we're going to see, right, how that feels, because it's definitely going to be putting out more light. But I don't think it's going to make it any of a throwier light, because it's still going to have this amazing optic right here, or reflector, I guess it is. You can see how deep down that LED is, and that's what I think part of why it's able to pinpoint that so well. This is also a relatively good thrower for an EDC light, right? It has a decent hot spot compared to others. But you can see the difference. You have a wider head, and that LED, I think, sits deeper down in there, and that makes a difference, right? That's part of the magic with this, is you can throw it on different bodies and it will essentially do the same thing. It just gives you versatility in terms of size and shape and whatever you want. Output, because maybe you can get more battery life on one or another or whatever. So that part's really, really cool, I think. And you can see the head, right? It's definitely meant for more throwing. So one thing it's not good at is, like, you know, walking into a room and illuminating the whole room and making it feel much brighter in the dark, you know, where a lot of the custom lights I've been getting are these triple emitter lights. And, you know, when you blast one of these on a higher setting, you know, you can light up a room. It's almost like daylight in a room. Where this guy's just not going to do that because it's directing that light and throwing it more. But because you're indoors and you're kind of throwing the light at walls and shit, it bounces off of walls, and it really does create a decent enough atmosphere that it works. And it will give you enough flood to cover the area you need to work in or look in or whatever, right? If your goal is to illuminate a whole room, you really don't need a flashlight for that. You should probably just flip a switch on or something. Yes, you can just pop one of these on and set it up like this, and it will do a really good job illuminating a room for a while. And I like that feature, right? And I do think overall my preference is towards these type lights. But this one's just special and different to me. I don't know. It's weird. You want to have different things. I don't want every light to be the same. And I'm noticing a lot of the ones I'm getting, really, the only difference is what color secondaries you're getting. Maybe the emitters are slightly different temperatures or brands or whatever. But, you know, you have the same essential thing here. It's just in a different host, right? These custom flashlights really come down to design. And that's what you're buying, and that's fine. I love that. That's what I'm after with this. But it is nice having something a little different in the collection, something a little different to carry, and that's why I really appreciate this Magizmo. Now, we'll see once I get that engine how I feel about it, because I'm essentially turning this into my Laulima Ion Slim, right? It's going to have the same exact setup as it, and we'll see if it really does feel different because of this head and everything. And if it feels the same, I might honestly just go back to the way it is, because I love this light the way it is. It's not the brightest thing in the world, but it doesn't need to be. It really does its job extremely well. And as I stated in that, you know, ramble portion, it is such a clean light. It's unbelievable how clean it is. You know, obviously Don knows what he's doing. One thing I wanted to note is, let me get it on like moonlight here. There seems to be some stuff on the glass. And I've tried everything to clean it off. I'll take a little bit of alcohol on a microfiber and just kind of clean up in there and get it off. Obviously, it's probably to be expected, but I am thinking that some of that is just inside of the lens. So that's okay, because when I swap that engine out, I can probably just clean that reflector in there. But you can see I can get most of it off with just a microfiber. So it is mostly just stuff dropping on from the outside portion of it. And it hasn't caused any like artifacts in the light, so hasn't been enough of an issue to bother me. I did film some outdoor footage with this. I went to a park and had some fun with it. And then I even like walked out and like showed you on different modes how it looks from a distance. I'm hoping that kind of stuff helps. If you guys think that that stuff helps, then please let me know in the comments and I'll try to do more of it. If you think it's useless and you just want me to go back out in my front yard and blast that tree, I'll do that too. I was thinking maybe combination, walk around my yard a little bit and just show you me using it and whatnot. One thing that's interesting is it does seem to have a little bit of a different system of screwing the head on than I've noticed with others. And you'll see how it's coming in up here. That driver is kind of like, I don't know, sticking out to the back of the head. And I think that's, again, a function of that LED sitting so low. Because that LED is probably sitting like here, right? So he has to fit all of that in there. Where on this type, the LED is probably sitting like right here. So they have room. Because when you look inside of this, or any other light that I've tried, they all have a driver down inside the threads, right? This one's interesting. The threads are so short and they're like, just, I don't know if it's just old school or what, but it scares me that I'm going to cross thread them. But look, see the drivers are down inside and you can see the threads there. This one doesn't do that. The driver is like sticking up to the top. It's just interesting. And that must be because he wants it to fit all the different bodies or whatever. At least I think that's why. I think these even fit like some Surefires and some Malkoffs and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Merceau, if you're watching this, you can definitely let people know that. But yeah, it's interesting. It also looks less susceptible to some damage as others. Where these have, like, you can see these chips right here and everything. If I fuck that up, you're done. Where the other one, it seems like it just has a couple of, like, connector points, but there's nothing sticking out. So I don't know how all that works, but yeah, watch this one. It's just interesting. I'll do a video on this light, but so that's cross-threaded. So I gotta try to get it right. Oh. It's so finicky, man. It scares the shit out of me. Okay, I think I got it. So there it goes. And then it tightens around the body like that. Look at that. And then it's just done. Boom. And then and then it's like 2.5 turns and she's off. Where most of these, you have to unscrew them, you know. 1, 2, 3, almost 4 turns on that. And you can see how much closer together these threads are, right? I hate button tops because you have to like push down and then thread. It makes it harder. But yeah. Size comparisons. So here is the F2 from Focusworks, which is a great comparison to it. That's the Pele, Tie 2 design Pele. I don't know if many people are going to have that. This is a barrel custom flashlight. So these two are still to come in terms of videos. This one I've done a video on. I just haven't done this aluminum one, which I love, by the way. Here is the F2, which is probably the best comparison because it's a 14500. And you can see it's a little bit thicker than that and definitely thicker on this end. And if I grab the DC0, it's going to be even more. So I'll just grab all of them since I can. I have more on the way. I have a problem, I know. You don't need to tell me. But that was the F2. Here's the DC0. So you can see much longer and thicker. This is really just such a slim light for what it is. Really cool light. Peanut from CWF. This is such an amazing light, guys. I love the Peanut. You should definitely check the Peanut out. But yeah, definitely a totally different animal here. And the Citadel, again, totally different animal. But about the same back there. Interesting. And the La Lima, this will be a good comparison, but these are very similar. The F2 in the La Lima, but still taller than the La Lima by a little bit. But almost maybe has some design cues from the Haiku. Very cool. I love this light too. And yeah, has this little lanyard guy right here. Excellently machined titanium. I mean, it is just, out of all the ones I just showed you, this still, I don't know why I said still, but this is probably the nicest machined one. I mean, the Citadel is just bonkers cool in terms of machining, right? Look at that. It's just so wild how cool it is and how tight the clearances are and everything. But is that lined up? No, it's a little. There we go. Hear that last click? There we go. This is wild and awesome. This is just, I don't know. It's like another level of machining. Look at it. Just crazy. And the fact that they've been like $450 for like 10 years now is pretty crazy. So I think they're well worth the asking price if you're interested in a custom flashlight. He has so many options in terms of the heads. You can get the Mule or the Sun Drop, which I think are just floody. And then obviously you have the Haiku, which is a good thrower. And then you have those bigger thrower ones that look awesome. They all look cool. I kind of want to get them all eventually. And that's the cool thing. I think I can put any of those on this body. So all I'd really need to order now is the heads. And that makes it more affordable, right? Because what were they, like $200 or $150, and you just buy the heads and then you slap them all on. Now, I think what I'm going to do is buy the CR123 body at some point. So I have that body, and then I'll start buying the heads, and then I can use, I'll have two I can kind of set up. But yeah, definitely not done with McGizmo flashlights. This is just wonderful work. The clip works great. I will say it is tight. You do have these ribs, and it does make it a little bit of a pain in the ass. Now, I haven't adjusted the clip at all, so I probably could just bend this up a little bit. As you can see, it's rather tight. I could probably bend that up a little bit and make it easier to get in the pocket, but I like a secure clip on my flashlight, so that's kind of why I've left it alone. But the switch, obviously he invented the switch, but it's very tactile. I've noticed they're not all created equal. I switched a bunch of these last night, so like this one, I think I might have left that one alone. I don't know why I think that. But this one, so those two, and then I messed with this one. I put a rubber one in there, and then I took it out. But I don't know if I used the right one, so I might try it again later. But this one actually feels pretty good the way it is, even though it's silicone. I do prefer the rubber, but I can't remember now if I switched this one. I feel like I was going to, and then I had like a hard time, so I stopped. I don't know why I feel that way, but this one feels good anyway, so maybe that's why. But yeah, so these two at least I switched last night. They both now have the Okluma rubber switch cover in there, and it just feels a little bit better. Like it just has a little more pressure that I have to put on it, and that feels good to me to have that little bit more pressure. And this has something like that already on it, some kind of rubber, so it feels great. Where this is silicone, it's just a little bit of a softer, just a weirder push, but this light seems to be set up for it perfectly. So yeah, but yeah, I'm learning how to switch stuff around, and this one I had it perfect last night, and now see how it's sticking up a little bit, so it won't tail stand right. It'll kind of wheel wobble, but I thought I fixed that already last night. Now it's back, damn it. But anyway, yeah, he invented that switch, which is awesome. And I'm just rambling now. So check out the footage of me using it. Let me know what you think. I'm super impressed with Magizmo and the Haiku here. It definitely lives up to its hype, which is, you know, it's like everybody says, you got to try, if you're going to get into custom flashlights, you got to get a Haiku. Got to get a Haiku. Well, this is why, my friends. So more to come on this when I get that light engine. I'll do a video swapping it. Maybe at some point I'll show you guys how I switch the covers, and I might, if I have an issue with one of these, I'll switch the switch out, because I'm learning. I want to learn how to do that, which I think is easy. You just screw it out and then put a new one in, but kind of stuff that's intimidating to people who don't know, like me. So if I can show you, that would be very, very cool. But yeah, it does have a nice indent there for the switch, so you can easily tail stand. You saw obviously how well that works, and it just is a good end cap. I don't know what you call this, tail switch. It's tucked in enough that you can do the tail stand, but it's just like perfectly placed for your thumb to just get in there, whether you click it or you just tap, right? Or you come up and do the index, same thing. This move even works really well. Usually, if it's good at one thing, it makes it harder to do this. Like this light, you see how it has that dip all through there? So when I hold it in cigar grip, it's really good, right? If I index it, which is mostly what I do with lights, by the way. Whoa. Why is it going into programming? Did I tap it 12 times? That was fast. So the way to not let this screw something up is to just hold it until it's done. Now it's done. Then I'm gonna let it go. Really didn't feel like I did that 50 times. But anyway, or 15. This is really good. This is really good. But this is pretty shit, right? This does all of it really, really well. So that's good. Yeah, I think that's everything, guys. Follow-ups to come on it, though, for sure. This is not an extensive review. This is just a first impressions and an overview. The reason I didn't show you the programming, or won't, at least not yet, is it requires a solder jump, which to me is dumb. You should be able to just program your flashlight. But you have to, I guess, maybe it's not right here, maybe it's underneath, I'm not sure. But a jump, from what I understand, you probably have to put a wire or something and solder from here to there. And that will let you, then you'll be able to go into programming mode and do whatever you want. And then when you're done, once you have it set the way you want, you can remove the jump, the solder jump, and then it'll stay the way you just set it. Or you could probably leave it on there and keep messing with it as you want. But I don't know why it wouldn't just come ready to program, and then you could maybe make it easy to remove it or something. I don't know. But I don't like that part. I think that's a little too old school, considering nowadays we can just tap our flashlights to get into program mode. And there's even flashlights where you put it up to a screen and it programs it. So having to solder to program is kind of annoying, and it's why I am not going to be able to show you, because I'm not competent enough at this point to do that. I may try it once I get the other engine. If I like that engine, then I'll feel comfortable probably messing with this one. And maybe I'll make a video, because I don't know if there is one out there on it. But it's called the Hive light engine. And I believe it is programmable, just you have to do that, which I'm not going to do right now. So there you go. I love you guys. Thank you for checking it out. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you. Nice, Kev here, and I'm out here with my new McGizmo Haiku. 14500 body on this guy, and this is a stock configuration. I went with the Nichias in here. I think it's the 919s or 119s, I think. I have a I think unprotected 14500 vape cell in here. So pretty standard stuff, but This guy doesn't get a ton of power output in terms of lumens, but it seems to throw really well. So I just want to give you an idea. This is it on moonlight. So for me, I can barely see it anywhere further than 20 feet or so, right? Using these trees over to the left and that soccer goal over to the right as indicators. We're probably talking about 50 yards to the soccer goal and maybe 100 over those trees, 150, something like that. So this is on moonlight. Step it up here, and now we can kind of see it on camera, but I cannot see that goal very well. Yeah, no, it's not really doing anything compared to normal just vision at night. So here's another setting up. Now I can illuminate that goal quite a bit. I'm getting a definite better view at it. I'm not getting anywhere near hitting those trees over there, but I'm definitely getting a longer reach than I feel like I've seen with some other lights. So let's get it up to the next mode. Now we're really hitting that. I can actually graze those trees a little bit. Let me hold it up so it's a little cleaner for you. So we're hitting those trees just a little bit. We're not, you know, illuminating much, but we are hitting them. And let me see if there's one more. 2, 3, 4. This is high. I think that's what we were just on. But yeah, it does a pretty good job of throwing and has some spill. For EDC, I wouldn't say it's the best option. This is on high right here. It's definitely doing a good job on this little playground, which is pretty up close. If I cycle through here, moonlight, low, medium, and high, it does a really good job in my opinion. I think this is a great all-around flashlight. Yeah, it performs as such. So you guys saw the regular tabletop review portion, so you know my thoughts on it. I actually just got this today as I'm recording this, so the video will have a little more information. So thanks for checking it out. Love you guys. Hey guys, I'm gonna do one last little thing with the McGizmo Haiku. Just gonna walk it out for you, switch some modes, just kind of dick around. You guys can get a look at it. All right, here we go. Start on moonlight. Low. Medium. Yeah, this thing is way more of a thrower than anything else in my opinion, which is very cool because most of my EDC lights are gonna be, you know, flood type lights. So anyway, thanks for checking it out guys, and I'll catch you later. Peace.